I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
Welcome, everyone, to
Another day in paradise.
Yes, sirree. I am so happy to be in paradise with you, Bruce,
I am
and
too.
with each and every one of you here listening today on Lyrical Wisdom.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a really cool song. I mean, all we have to do is read these lyrics, and I'm going to feel spirit
I am too.
coming through, and I hope each and every one of you do too. It's going to be awesome. Doesn't matter what time or what day you're listening to this, you're going to feel it.
I hope so.
Right?
I really hope so. I really hope that's how everybody resonates with our show. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just really happy to be here
Right now.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no
with
kidding.
each of you. So I think we should go into this, Bruce,
got it.
because it is just, it's blinding me.
I see what you did there. Yes, very clever. Yes, this song is called I Am Light by India.Arie. I am light, I am light, I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my face. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. All light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
I love that. And if we all can just say that every day,
Absolutely.
just upon waking, just any time during the day, it brings, I take a walk in the morning and I say my invocation, which begins with, I breathe in light.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I breathe in the light every day. It's like, wow. When you do that, I can't explain what happens. You have to try it yourself.
I love that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and I love the fact that that's what this song is. I am. So you have to claim it for yourself.
Wow. Yeah. that is what that statement becomes, I believe,
Right,
is
right.
a claiming,
I think we're all searching for something.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
we go to church. That's why we, take classes. That's why we read books.
Yeah.
We're all searching for what, some people define as the light.
Yes.
And when you can sit and speak these words, then the searching no longer
Needs to be done
needs to be done.
because
You
we're
just
there.
right.
Yeah.
You can just shine
That's
and,
amazing.
and enjoy life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love this. When you speak these words, the other thing is they are, well, how many times, Bruce, have I said that words are wands?
Yes, absolutely.
So our voices are, this is how we create.
Yes.
And I mean, the Bible even says that in the beginning was the Word.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
Word was God, and the Word
Yes.
was with God.
Yeah.
And therefore, when we speak, we are announcing to the universe, to that energy that creates, that this is our desire, our wishes. This is what we wish to create.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially followed by the word am. I am.
Wow.
When that statement is made, whatever follows it will be.
That's amazing. That's
Well, think
amazing.
about it. I
Yeah.
mean, in the Bible, there's only one place where it states that God said his name. Do you remember?
I don't.
I am that.
That you.
I am.
Yes. Or that.
I
that
am
you
that.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, wow.
So whatever that is, whatever you follow with I am is going to be.
Wow. That's really cool.
It's like we were told that and we just didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Until now, many of us are understanding and
Yeah.
waking up and, understanding that our lives are we are the creator of our reality.
Yeah.
And it is through the divinity that is within us that brings us what we ask, what we put out there.
Yeah.
So when we speak, that is what we are asking.
Wow. That's so fascinating. I remembered that phrase a little bit differently, but I would have to say I just didn't remember it exactly like that. But that is
Well, tell me
fascinating.
how you remember
I
that
remembered it
phrase.
somehow as I am what you say I am instead of I am that I am. But that was just because I think that was my interpretation after reading that,
Yeah, yeah.
But I would just have to say I do believe these things, and I know that in a way the name of God being what it is kind of how we create that,
That is true.
And so, saying I am that I am, it's almost like we're saying what Popeye would say in the cartoon,
I am Popeye the Sailor
Yeah,
Man.
I
That's
I am what I
beautiful.
am,
Yeah.
and or
Yeah.
I am that I am. And so
Yeah.
that's a really beautiful thing. And it's interesting that we can all use that phrase every single day
Yeah.
to make our reality. And that is so true.
I think the most beautiful and scientific evidence in this song is that through everything I have learned and everything I understand on this journey is that our physical bodies are made of over 70 trillion cells. And science has proven that an individual cell, a cell, is light, sound, and vibration.
Wow. Well,
That's all.
and the best part about that is that each cell has a life of its own.
Exactly. Yes.
And what I remember you told me once that every 7 years, we completely change ourselves, basically.
Right. They regenerate. And that is so beautiful because something's coming in right now that is so fascinating because 7, 7, 7. In other words, 7 generations. Whenever you talk or, the indigenous, when you read about things, it's 7 generations, 7. And yes, 7 years.
Wow.
We are completely new. Our bodies have regenerated every single cell within
That's
it.
amazing.
That's, quite fascinating.
Yeah, and that's as you would just mentioned, that's science.
Yeah, it
That's
is. It
that's
is.
that's not like
Woo woo.
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's no
yeah.
woo for you. It's simply not the truth necessarily, but it is science as we know it, and that's amazing. That is truly amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
And we know that light is so much more than we even know. I think scientists have told us that what we see through our eyes are only a small portion
what's out there?
of what is out there.
Yes, in the ultraviolet spectrum, we see probably 1%
1%.
of what is
Wow.
truly out in front of us. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a situation that we all forget that, we kind of take a step back and we look at things and we think of those things as being just reality. Well, I see that in front of me. That is what is there. And actually, that's not true. There's a whole lot more there. We are
Hmm.
allowed to see certain things because of how light is sometimes rejected. We see a lot of green in our world. Well, the color green and that light is actually being reflected back for us.
I believe green and red are the two colors, something about the eyes, because I remember my daughter Allison had what's called eye therapy, and you have to, they put like a green light and a red light, and they, flash those lights to be able to see the color spectrum and see the way that the brain processes is green and red. Isn't
Wow,
that
wow, that is
fascinating?
fascinating.
And you know what the cool thing is that green resonates with the heart
Yes,
chakra,
that is
which
the
is the resonance of, it's our body. It's what keeps us alive, our heartbeat, our heart.
yes.
And the magnetic resonance within the heart connects to earth.
Wow.
That's why we're human beings, and that's how we stay upon earth.
Wow.
And that red resonates with the root chakra,
And
which keeps
grounding.
us
Yes,
grounded to
yes,
earth. So it's
yes.
quite fascinating
That
that
is.
earth and heart, which to me, the heart is also where the divine lives.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's heaven and earth coming together as one in the human form.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And that is light.
that is light. I
Yeah.
am light. I
Yes.
am light.
Yes.
I am light. I am light. And you know what the beautiful thing about that is? If you can speak those words, there's also another definition of light.
Yes.
Light as a feather.
Wow, okay. Very nice.
Yes, and
Wow.
remember in the Egyptians, they when they die, they believe that their souls are taken through Anubis, and the scales of justice. They take the heart and they weigh it against a feather. If your
Wow.
heart is as light as a feather, then you go to heaven, I guess, is what.
Wow.
Yes. So to me, when you speak of being light, not only are you allowing all of those beautiful photons and, color spectrum of light into you, but you're also saying, I am dropping the denseness. I am dropping
Wow.
those things that make my heart heavy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sadness, the grief, the anxiety, the anger,
Yeah.
all of those emotions that weigh us down.
That's amazing and fascinating. I love that because that is a beautiful segue into
Mm-hmm.
I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I love that because that's exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We are not those things. None of us are we are not a culmination of the things that we've done in the past. We are the here and now.
Right. And I believe that is where so many of us, even me, there's times I wake up and I get stuck in the
Of
past.
course. Of course.
So it's when, yeah, you look at the things my family did, it's like dis-ease within the body. You're like, well, my mom had this or my dad had that, so I'm going to get that, but
Yeah.
no, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Even that can be overcome with the bringing in of light, which
Absolutely.
is dropping that density and allowing, just light to flow through. I love this.
Yeah.
The things my family did, which is also like where you come from.
Yeah.
You know, there seems to be, a lot of times society blames another group of people for what happened to their ancestors,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and holding on to that is the heaviness that we're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so
And
you're not you're not that someone else did in the past, and you're not that someone did something to.
yes. Yeah.
You are you in
Yes.
this moment.
Yes. And that's important because we can get stuck in believing in looking at some of the past lives and some of the past experiences that we've had from our family and ourselves and looking at that as a definition of who we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that trap,
Right,
you
as
know?
well as the brokenness
Yes.
inside. That
Yes.
is, the one thing that I have learned or I have let go of is that statement that I grew up with in my family of you're born into sin. That's brokenness.
Yeah.
And no, you're not.
No.
Each and every one of us are a divine spark of the God,
Absolutely.
of that divinity, that love that creates everything.
Absolutely. If we were born into sin, then that means that being born we are a mistake.
Yeah,
And that is not the case. We are
right.
all perfect and beautiful creations. And that is why we are light. And
Hmm.
that's what she says.
Repeating it, I am light, I am
Yes.
light. Just repeat it every time you feel that unease coming within your body.
Yes.
If you feel that anger coming up, if you feel that sadness, that grief coming up, if you can switch and just say, I am light, it allows that heaviness to be. What
Dropped.
happens when
Yeah.
you enter a dark room and you light a single match? The whole room will light up.
Yes.
So that's how you dispel
Yes.
the dark, the
Absolutely.
density, the
Yeah.
heaviness is with light.
And then we are not the mistakes that we have made or any of the things that have caused us pain. We are not the pieces of the dream we have left behind. Now, I
Yeah.
changed the lyrics there just because I wanted to include all of us out there in
That's
this.
true.
You know,
Yeah.
we
Thank you,
are
Bruce.
no, and it's
Yeah.
just because this is so beautiful. It's we are light. We are not those mistakes. Mistakes are a learning process. So if we don't make a mistake, then how the heck are we going to learn? You have to if you do things perfectly every single day, then that would indicate that there is no need for learning.
Yeah.
And none of us have no need for learning.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow, if we had no need for learning, then how did we learn how to speak? How did we learn how to do all of the things that we know how to do right now?
Right.
So we have to be able to make mistakes in a beautiful and loving way to become better. By making mistakes, we become better. And we are always going to trip and fall. We are always going to make those things,
Right,
you know?
right. I have, oh my gosh, her name just flew out of my head, but I love her meditations. She has a beautiful voice. And she has a song that is going in my head right now. Just the one lyric that says, fall down, rise up, make beautiful mistakes.
Wow,
So
yes.
mistakes are
They
beautiful.
are.
When you do fall down and you rise up with such strength, and there has been transformation that
Absolutely.
has happened, and
Absolutely.
it feels good.
It does feel
Yeah.
good. And we have these, things that caused me pain in the lyrics. It says, or any
Hmm.
of the things that caused me pain, I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. Because we think about those things that are causing us pain and we cling to those things as memories. And we have to let those things go and allow the things that we used to maybe dream about. We have to let some of that go as well. We have accomplished our dreams just by taking our breath this morning when we woke up.
I think another aspect of that is the what if.
Yes.
We get so stuck on
Yes.
what if, what if I had done
Yeah.
this that I
Yeah.
wanted to do when I
Yeah.
was, when I started college or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the what ifs.
Yes.
And you get stuck on the what ifs,
Yeah.
and you don't allow the beauty that's coming to you in the moment to
Yes.
be,
Yeah.
because that what we are as light, sound, and vibration are beings that are drawing to us whatever we put out.
Yeah.
We magnetize to us what we put out. And so if we stay in what if, then we're just going to keep in that cycle of what if, and we won't be able to see what is.
And what can be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
believe that. I love that.
Right. And
And
sometimes what comes is better than what
absolutely.
you had thought you
Absolutely.
wanted.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what I love.
I love that too because that can be a complete surprise,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they, this wonderful artist goes on to say, I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all
Oh,
light. And
yeah.
I love that because I believe that. And I believe that about these things because when we look in a mirror or we look at other people, we interpret what we are seeing inside of ourselves. And that is where we create our reality. We have to create it inside of ourselves in order to be able to believe that what we are seeing outside of us is what it is. And so we have to believe who we are as something that is light. Like this song says, my soul inside is all light. Because otherwise, we're going to get stuck in, I have blue eyes. I have, light or dark skin. I am either old or young. And, I am from this place. Like it suddenly becomes a life of
I
definitions.
was going to say you define yourself. And when you define yourself, you keep yourself in a little box.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't just be.
Yeah.
Because then you're the blue eyes, the brown eyes, the
Yeah.
green eyes, or whatever, or you're the, like you said, the yellow Jesus, red
Right.
and yellow,
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
They're all precious.
Yes.
It's when you define yourself, you keep yourself in that box.
Confined. And the
Yes.
interesting thing about light is that the discovery was made by, I think it might have been that physics guy Planck or somebody way back in the day when they were discovering that light isn't just a particle, it's also a wave. So,
Mm-hmm.
like sound, light is a wave, and it is also like matter, it is a particle.
Yeah.
So, it has a duality to it. And to me, that represents something that we're talking about in the sense that we are not these things that define us so strictly. We have the ability to be that and.
I loved also what you said about how when you look at someone, you, within your brain and everything, the way that you process what comes in through your eyes, you create what
Yes.
you are seeing.
Yes.
So you and I look different to ourselves than what we look like when we look in the mirror. Does
Yes.
that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes. That makes
In other
complete
words,
sense.
every time someone looks at me,
Hmm.
they see something different.
Then what?
Nobody sees me the same.
Nobody does. Yeah.
I don't even see myself like someone else sees.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's you are what you create. And therefore, letting go of what other people, or what you think other people see you as, and
Exactly.
that's how you define that, is by, oh, they see me with brown eyes, they see me with brown hair,
Yep.
you
They
know.
see this color of my skin. They
Right,
see,
right.
yeah,
And no,
that is
no,
not.
that's, you are defining that.
Yes.
And when you can let go of that piece and just be light,
I am light.
and the soul inside that is all light,
Yes.
then that is what begins to shine forth.
I just was thinking that because, and yeah, because that's what I truly believe is that we forget that every sense that we have, vision, scent, hearing, feeling, everything that and taste, all of these senses are interpreted inside of us.
Hmm.
None of those things
We
are,
create
yeah,
it.
we create those things inside of us. We interpret that data, if you will, inside our body. What we see outside of us, so to speak, which that's what is the question,
We
really.
create
We
as
create
well.
that inside of us. What we taste is created inside of us. What we smell is created inside of us. What we feel, it's all created inside of us.
Yeah.
So every sense that we have is created within. So we are truly creating every portion of our reality.
Yep.
And the one definition that we can give ourselves is I am
Am
light.
light.
Yeah.
I am divinity
Yes.
defined.
Yes. One of my favorite lines of this entire song.
I have a little saying stuck on my computer that I look at every day too. It says, I am Mother Goddess emotion embraced.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's also, learning that element of earth and
Mm-hmm.
taking in that and just being the light that shines on everything everywhere. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. Like you said, Bruce, everything is processed inside.
Yes.
Inside. So let God inside process everything.
Yes. Let that existence be. Let God be inside. Let that be inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. That is so beautiful. And that is the part that I think that a lot of people forget. They forget the nuance, or they forget this that we were talking about. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. And all of that is what I believe, very beautifully put together here, is namaste.
Oh,
You know,
yes, it sure
we
is.
kind of fall into the trap of thinking of that as something that's like a cliche, or just this little kind of, novel thing that we can say or apply to different products or different moments. And, like saying bless you after somebody sneezes, how, that's just such a novel thing to say, or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really feel like it's coming from our heart. But to
Right.
say it and truly believe it is exactly what the song is saying.
I agree 100%.
It's
I am a star. Um, what It's interesting because, as we know, there are different definitions for star.
Yeah.
There is that star that we have defined in physicality as a rock star, a movie star. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But think about that. We have taken that definition and given it to physicality in that it is known everywhere.
Yeah.
In other words, it becomes big, it becomes great. In other words, a lot of people know it.
Yes.
And a star from the heavens is light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the same thing, it is a piece of it all.
Yes.
And therefore, being a star is knowing that you are of it all.
Of it
In other
all,
words,
yes.
that what makes up a star?
Yeah.
We know that it's like just elements, just gases, and it's so bright in its beingness that it lights up the darkness
It
in the
does.
sky.
It does, and it projects that light for such a long distance. And that's the thing that I really love to think about here is, to say I am a star, a piece of it all, because we have come to know that all of us have the same ingredients within our own human bodies that is just like the
A
ingredients
star.
of a star,
Right.
you know?
We hold all the 16 elements of the periodic chart in our bodies.
Yes.
We are earth. We have every element, every mineral that exists here on earth within our physical bodies.
Wow.
It's so fascinating when
That
you
is.
really, really look at it all
Yeah.
and begin to accept it, like you said. Then you can say, Namaste.
You can,
And feel it and mean
and
it.
feel it and mean it. And
Right.
it's we have just been gifted with a wonderful translation of Namaste. Namaste is literally translated as "I bow to you." The gesture of Namaste represents the belief that there is a divine spark within each of us that is located in the heart center. The palms together in front of the heart or brow is an acknowledgement of the soul in one by the soul in the other, in another.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That is exactly what we were just talking about, too, in a way, just a few different words, little different semantics.
Can you? I want to there. Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Boy, am I glad that we did this show today.
Yeah, me too. And I'm glad. Thank you, India.Arie, for
Yes.
reminding us that we are light.
We are light.
You are light. Thank you so much for joining us here today on
Lyrical Wisdom.